Eric. I think it's live. It's really bright, so I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. But I'm in Nara, Japan, and I want to tell you a little bit about what I'm working on today and what's going on tomorrow. I've been pretty quiet on social media and YouTube and online for a month or so. I've been working on a lot of books, writing a lot of books, and co-writing a lot of books, which is exciting. There's a bunch of school kids behind me over here, so they're making a lot of noise, waving to people down below. So real quick, even though it's really loud, tomorrow there's a online seminar or summit called the Craft Writing Summit, which I was invited to speak at, which I'm excited for because I usually talk about book marketing and book design and stuff like that, but I was invited as a guest to talk about fiction, which is really what I've been doing the last year or so. I've been putting out resources, not only my own books, but also plotting guidelines and resources to help people write their own books, mostly for fiction, but also a lot of tips for nonfiction. I have a course that I made about it called Bestseller Blueprint, but it was really just me figuring my way through a lot of stuff, like, okay, how do you outline? But then even if you give someone a good outline, doesn't mean that the book's going to be any good. So what makes a good book and a bad book? How do you get people, how do you get readers to keep reading? How do you build the intrigue and the suspense? And also, I've been an editor for a long time, so when I edit books or when I work with co-writers, I notice the things that they're doing wrong that I think can be improved on, and that's the kind of stuff that I try to put together as a guideline. So like checklists for what to do and what not to do. Someone posted on Facebook just recently, they asked me for like, there must be a template, there must be like, a cheat sheet that I can use to write better books. And I was like, yeah, I have all that stuff, but not everybody wants to go through my whole course. So I'm actually going to turn that course into a book that'll be about how to write good books. I put it together this morning. It's already like 40,000 words, so I'm going to put that together probably in the next month or so, which is exciting because that'll be like, I'm actually really proud of these resources. I think there's a lot of new things that nobody else has really talked about in regards to writing fiction especially, but also nobody really talks about how to write a good nonfiction book, at least in the type of detail. There's a lot of basic information out there, but the stuff that I am putting out is pretty high level and hopefully a lot easier to understand and to go through. So I think it's going to be really helpful. I'm excited about that. And I'll tell you more about that later. I'm also revising a book I put out a few years ago, which was, it used to be How to Write, Publish, Format, Promote Your Book Without Spending Any Money. It's not a great title. I've turned it into How to Publish a Book on a Budget. So it's a lot cleaner, a lot simpler, and it will group together all of my like how to publish a book stuff. So that I can clean up. I actually put that out like 4 years ago, and it wasn't edited very well. So I have reviews on that book. I have like 100 something reviews, and they're really good. I read through these reviews, and they're really amazing. So I know this book really helped people, but I also had some reviews that said, well, how could you teach people about publishing if your book has typos in it? So I recently started using Grammarly and ProWriting8. I put out a video recently on those two software, and now when I finish my revision process, I'm going to put everything through those two softwares just to make sure I get rid of all the typos before I publish, which is really useful, so I strongly recommend those, Grammarly in particular. But I'm going to revise that book and re-release it. I'll post it for free sometime soon and announce it to my list or to YouTube. So that's going to have a new cover, it's going to be updated, and it's going to be pretty good, but then later I'll be updating this new book that's just about writing good books. So those are two projects I'm working on, but this online summit is happening tomorrow. I'll post a link down below. It's just about craft, so it's about fiction writing, and I know Kevin, who's the organizer, also has something like a 12-step guide to writing books, and that's also a free guide, a free resource that you can download. So I'll post the links down below. I'll end by quickly showing you this awesome view behind me. We're in Nara, so you can even see like down there, there's a couple of deer. There's tons of deer just wandering around in this open deer park. The view is really great, the weather's really nice. We have another week in Japan, and then we're gonna go to Taiwan for a month, and I'm looking forward to that as well. So I hope this video works. I don't know what the quality is going to look like. I hope you can hear me over the sound of all of these Japanese school kids. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to turn the video off. You can leave.